Let me check niggas' temperatures.
Yeah, huh?
Jazz the ass. You just never know. You get them people saying like, I have a bar though, because he kept saying Vicky.
So I ain't want to bring up the Gilly. I ain't want to bring up ARAB. Snake on this shit.
That ass spoke to us. That was first it out. Let's switch it up. Now let's just say it came out that his story.
Niggas not wild strong, nigga. I'm wild strong. What's the word? What's the word? What's the word? What's going down, man? Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. Hope y'all had a good weekend, man. It's been a lot going on in battle rap, man. And it just seems to me that like Bags and Bodies is pretty much taking over battle rap. I think it's pretty much undeniable. I think when you think about first and foremost, let's slow this down a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my brother, my co-host, Deadass Talk, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody in the chat, whether you be, you know what I'm saying, brand new or one of my day ones, man. So, man. So I don't know if y'all saw it, but shout out Black Compass. Last night they had a chance to catch up with the one and only Hitman Holla. And I gotta say, man, Polo, that was a very, very good interview, my boy. That was a very, very good interview, very entertaining. I felt like you had a good amount of pushback, man. You definitely made Hitman think about some things, but Hitman, there's a couple things that you said that I just can't rock with. I ain't gonna lie to you. Now it was a lot you said. You said a lot that I did agree with, but there was a couple of things that, you know what I'm saying, I felt like, nah, I can't really rock with that. Now, again, shout out to Hitman Holla, shout out Bags and Bodies, man. You see from what Hitman has done in the last, 15 months with Bags and Bodies, with that brand, is nothing short of amazing. What's up, Trap House? What he's been able to do with that collection of talent, you know what I'm saying? Again, if you look at the Bags and Bodies rosters, the Kapo Bravados, the Snake Eyes, the J2s, the KDs, the Jada Guys, the Yogi the Gods, the Dollar Bills. That's when you talk about homegrown talent. Hitman took up and coming battle rappers that one was super hungry, or he took the underappreciated battle rappers, you know what I'm saying, like a KD, like a J2, like a Snake Eyes. And he really has, with the platform that he's built, he's really propelled their careers. And again, you know, when you talk about one of the things you talk about Chrome 23 and RBE respectfully, that kind of what kind of discredits them a little bit, depending on who you are, is the fact that some people say that RBE and Chrome 23 don't grow their own talent. But you're seeing, you know what I'm saying, with Bags and Bodies, you're seeing with the Trenchers, you're seeing with TOS that, you know what I'm saying, I feel like the days of just playing the top tiers, the legends, that shit is out the window. You know what I'm saying? Right now it's about who can bring up the next, who can be the next. And again, I feel like with Bags and Bodies, y'all know me, man, I like to update resumes every single year. I'm not one of those, URL gets to have the title because they're the biggest platform. Let's be honest, URL really not moving and shaking outside of their collaborations, which they got collaborations with Takeover Battle League. You know what I'm saying? If you look at the flyer, URL is on the flyer. So you even got to think when it... Y'all even think, you even got to think when it comes to that card that some of them battles is not going to make YouTube. Let's just be honest. Some of them battles, if you know URL is involved, all of them battles is not making YouTube. You just got to be honest with where you at with it. What did he say that you didn't like? So, you said I missed those tournaments. They made stars. No, they definitely, you know, the Ultimate Madness tournament definitely gave us opportunity to see some up and coming talent in the brighter spotlights. But it was a couple things that Hitman Holla said that I agree with. So let's get to the stuff I did agree with him with. When he addressed the culture, I 100% agree with Hitman Holla. When he says part of the Bags and Bodies brand was really surveying the landscape of battle rap. And it's one thing for someone to just continue to it's one thing for someone to pinpoint the problems. It's another thing for someone to pinpoint the problems with solutions. So that is what Hitman Holla has done. That's what Hitman Holla and the Boss has done. When you think about their events, one of the biggest gripes that I have when it comes to pay-per-views and battle rap events, they take too goddamn long to start. Nobody, like, in real life, nowhere else in battle rap, nowhere else in my life do you have to sit and wait an additional hour before you even hold somebody accountable from the start time that they have. If you look at the Super Bowl has a start time. They follow the start time. The NBA start time, NFL start time, your dentist appointment start time, your kids' doctor's appointment start time. Everything has a start time. Everything has, you know what I'm saying, structure. And that is what Hitman Holla is trying to bring to battle rap. It's the structure. It's the professionalism of battle rap. He called battle rappers out. He like, how do you expect to get these bags when y'all are not treating this like a profession? He's looking at this culture outside in, inside out, like, bro, y'all could make battle rap a full-time profession if y'all actually gave a damn. Y'all can make battle rap a legit business. Y'all can make battle rap a legit business. But you got to have the professionalism. You got to have the accountability. You got to have the wherewithal to understand there's a bigger picture than the deposit that you get in right here. There's a bigger picture than taking deposits, doing no shows, giving us trash ass battles. There's a larger picture if you're able to invest, if you're willing to look at the forest beyond the trees. And so with that, I absolutely agree with Hitman Holla. Y'all niggas don't want to get no real money. Y'all niggas ain't never really seen no real money, because if you saw real money, you would act accordingly. If you wanted to really make this a profession, y'all would act accordingly. Hitman, like, y'all sitting here battling on a Sunday, got to go to T-Mobile on a Monday. Got to go work at Verizon on a Monday. Got to go be a custodian on a Monday. But you sitting here battling on Summer Madness on a Saturday. You sitting here battling on one of the biggest cars on Intruders on Apollo. You doing all of this, but turn around and still got to go to a 9 to 5. Still got to go work a 3 to 11. Hitman saying, I can show y'all the way. I can lead y'all to the water, but I can't make y'all dumbass niggas drink. I ain't got a problem with what he said. I agree with him. I'm not mad at that. You said some of these artists think they're bigger than the culture. That entitlement leads to this crap. You know what else? The lack of promotion also leads to a lack of trust when it comes to battles and when it comes to events. Think about it. If I'm battling, I don't know, if I got a battle, right? I got a battle on Apollo coming up. I got a battle on One Night Stand coming up. And you don't see me do anything. You see me promote the flyer, retweet the flyer one time, but you don't see me do interviews. You see me in the spaces every once in a while, but I'm talking about everything other than my upcoming battle. Why would a consumer buy into what you're selling? Because you're not even selling it. You just putting out the product. You hoping Hitman Holla's name is enough to get by. You hoping the Bags and Bodies brand is enough to get by. But what about your own? What about your own personal brand? What about your own personal aspirations? What about your career? And Hitman Holla's like, that's all I'm doing is holding y'all niggas accountable, because this is what y'all said y'all wanted. This is what I want for y'all. This is what I want for this culture. He's like, I've never left. Look at the others. Look at the others. Look at the others. It's a lot of people that then came in and left battle rap. I've always been here. I've been a staple. And now I've transitioned to an ambassador. I am now an ambassador of battle rap. This is no longer a side hustle for me. I've made this a career. I'm working on my 3rd Hall of Fame career. I got a Hall of Fame career on URL. I got a Hall of Fame career on RBE. Look what I got going on with Bags and Bodies. My first battle is Geeksy. My next battle is Miss Hustle. I'm bringing y'all that real feel back. 1,000+ in the venue, VIPs, media passes. I'm I'm trying to structure the market. I'm holding everyone accountable for everything that they have to do to add to the culture and battle rap media. Quit putting out my shit. Hip hop is real. Uncle Ross, 6 y'all $5 asses down before I make change. If I tell you you got to have a media pass to come to my event, don't be in here trying to shoot videos and do interviews when I already told you what the parameters of if you want to be a part of this media. If you want to be a part of the Bags and Bodies movement, I already told you this is the requirements. This is how I'm moving. Hip hop is real. You cannot go out and put, oh, Hitman Holla goes crazy in the first round of his battle with Hustle. You can't put that whole round out. You can't put half of the first round out because, again, when it's about building the brand, when it's about growing the culture, that's damn near like bootlegging. That's scheming off the top. If you able to take my blue magic, water it down and sell it as red magic, why would anybody buy the blue magic if you selling red magic for free? I'm not mad at a lot of what Hitman was saying. When it comes to him and Miss Hustle, the promo has been crazy. Shout out to both of them. They are throwing everything out there. We got the ghostwriting allegations. What else? You got Hitman Holla claiming that she's damn near Miss Dracula when it comes to the way she treats low-tier battlers. She uses them and then she throws them away. When you talk about you know what I'm saying? He brought up the prep. You talk about Capo Bravado. You talk about the Unisys. You know what I'm saying? And then you got Miss Hustle. Miss Hustle's taking an angle towards Hitman Holla. I've never seen anybody really taking an angle at. And I don't know how effective it's going to be, but she's trying to say that, you know what I'm saying, Hitman Holla is not gang affiliated. Now, what I do love about the interviews that you really get to hear the full maturity and the full evolution of Hitman Holla. He said, yeah, I was once a gang member, but you calling your big homies in New York don't do nothing. I'm from St. Louis. Somebody from New York can't speak on what from what I got going in St. Louis. They don't know. They wasn't there. They wasn't in North County. I was, though. You know what I'm saying? They wasn't at the palace. I was, though. They really wasn't running these streets of St. Louis, on the west side of St. Louis, in North County, in Hazelwood, in Florissant. But I was, though. Again, I like the angle that Miss Hustle is taking is a very interesting angle. I'm not mad at it. But I love the way that Hitman Holla is kind of countering everything that she's saying. And vice versa. I love the way that she's countering everything that she's saying because, again, you got to think Bad News is probably going to be a pawn somewhere in this storyline when it comes to this battle. Miss Hustle and Bad News is related. They cousins. Hitman Holla, obviously, Bags and Bodies, Bad News is one of his biggest artists. Now, I don't know where they stand at currently today, but you got to think that's going to be talked about. With Miss Hustle, she's not going to, there's nothing off limits for Miss Hustle. If you don't think she's going to bring up the cinnamon incident, Holla, you're crazy. She's absolutely. Now, there's a way you can counter that, Holla, and I'm pretty sure you know how. But what I didn't agree with, man, it was a couple things that he did say that I didn't agree with. I ain't gonna lie. You know what I'm saying? It was a couple things I wish I could have debated him on. First and foremost, Miss Hustle's not, when you talk about, Polo asks Hitman about being where you have Miss Hustle ranked when it comes to performances. Where you have Miss Hustle ranked when it comes to performances, and it comes to where she should be categorized. Should she be up there with the Hitman Hollas, the New Jersey Twerks, the Sue Surfs, the Briz Rothsteins, and things of that nature? And obviously Hitman Holla's doing his research. He's going back and watching those game tapes. He's going out and watching those game tapes. He says he doesn't believe that Miss Hustle is a top woman performer. He thinks that Jazz is a better performer. Now, I get it. The numbers may say anything, but you got to watch them battles. Miss Hustle get up there. She about 5'10", 5'11", and them weak Tims with that aggression and that attitude when she be stomping, arms all over the place. She's barking on it. She's pocket checking. She's pushing. Like there's a level of aggression and allure that comes with Miss Hustle that consistently has shown itself and revealed itself. Now, again, it's a lot of things, a lot of punches that both of them are throwing out at each other. You know what I'm saying? Hitman Holla is attacking the fact that Miss Hustle's not always professional. He is attacking the fact that you know what I'm saying, she's done no shows, she's had bad battles, she's choked, she stumbled, she did this and did that. But when it come to battling these men, though, when the rubber meet the road, Miss Hustle is gonna show up. Miss Hustle is gonna show up. Another thing that I felt I didn't necessarily agree with, and y'all know I ain't gonna agree with it as soon as I got to talk about it, as soon as I bring it up, but y'all make sure y'all hit the likes. One thing that I did not agree with, or another thing I didn't agree with when it came to the Holla interview with Polo on Black Compass, they start talking champion of the year. And again, shout out to Tay Rock. We know he won champion of the year and all that. And you know what I'm saying? I understand it. I get it. But I honestly feel like they treated champion of the year like a lifetime achievement award. I think they treated champion of the year like a lifetime achievement award. It was written all over, you know what I'm saying, the culture that if Tay Rock wouldn't have won champion of the year, I think the blowback and just the outrage would have been so insurmountable that I don't know if Jay Black and champion of the year would have been able to recover even for one more year. You know what I'm saying? Because I think everybody was seemingly pulling for Rock. But again, when you hear Hitman talk about it, he's talking about, you know what I'm saying, Tay Rock been doing this for 20 years. You're talking about, well, if you look at the first 11 battles, my problem is he had 16 battles, so I can't just look at the first 11 of battles. Yeah, anytime Tay Rock battle, it's going to be main event. It's going to be a ticket seller, this and that. But if you want to talk about strength of schedule, you got to watch the battles. Tay Rock, every time Tay Rock popped out, they were not great performances. They were not overwhelming performances. Politics as usual. I was there. He choked in that battle versus Loso. The battle against A-Ward, you know what I'm saying? You talk about this, the two battles is actually 2 battles in 72 hours. You basically had 2 battles in, what you said? I think you said a Friday, Saturday, but it was actually Friday, Sunday. If you look at that A-Ward battle, yeah, they had A-Ward winning, but I felt like that battle was highly debatable. So again, you talk about strength of schedule. I also think about performances as well. Bankhead is not better than Rosenberg Raw. You know what I'm saying? Respectfully, Bankhead may be more decorated than Hustle, but you know what I'm saying? And he might be a little bit better than Hustle, but I'm not like overwhelmed by Bankhead. Bankhead, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. What he say for the past 20 years shouldn't have anything to do with champion of the year going away. No, but what I'm saying is, I'm not saying what he said. If they were to, let's just say if Av would have won champion of the year, would people have understood it? Yes. But would people have been like, oh, you know what I'm saying? Like, would the parade have been as big for Av as it is for Tay Rock? Hell no. Hell no. Y'all felt like Tay Rock got screwed last year and the year before that. So again, I just felt like Hitman was talking about that. Like when you talk about his year, focus on his year. Don't even mention, oh, he's been doing this for 20 years, because at that point in time, it sounds like y'all had to give him the award because of everything he did. Now I know he's the logo. To me, he is the logo of battle rap. So this is no slight to Tay Rock. He is to me, he's probably the greatest battler ever. Respect to Hitman. And y'all know how much I rock with Hitman, but I think Tay Rock is arguably the greatest battler to have ever walked this earth. But that don't mean that he won champion of the year in my eyes for 2024, because not only do I look at the strength of schedule, I look at the consistency, I look at the performances. So again, you know what I'm saying? Now all of that is subjective, of course, but I couldn't sit there and talk about this without bringing up the fact, you know what I'm saying? I would have pushed back a little bit. I ain't gonna lie. I would have pushed back a little bit. I'm like, I get you, Howard. I hear you. But 10-0 is 10-0. One thing we can't argue is that battle with Jazz the Rapper. But Make sure y'all hit that like, man. Make sure y'all hit that like. Fire interview. If you can go back to Black Compass, definitely go check that out. I felt like it was a really good interview. But I had to cut out of that interview early because shout out to TBL. They did their face-offs yesterday. Now they had Danny Myers and Quest McCody, which was a cool face-off. That battle they talked about is 25 years in the making, which I think is insane. To say something to have a battle that has been that prolonged. But you also got to shout out Quest and Danny for even having careers to even, you know what I'm saying, stand the test of time like that, to even be coming back 25 years later to a battle that should have happened. But that face off was cool, but it was, you know what I'm saying, it was what you thought it was gonna be. It was what you thought it was gonna be. It's a lot, you know what I'm saying, mutual respect, high level penmanship. They do have some diss records going at each other, trying to promote the battle, you know what I'm saying? But that wasn't the face-off that had the culture rocking, respectfully. That wasn't the face-off that had the culture grabbing that popcorn and everybody was in that bitch like, God damn. It was the Kapo and Snake Eyes face-off was so good that you didn't even have to ask no questions. Just let them fools just talk to each other. Like 40 Bars was just trying to chime in to change the subject, but every time she did, it came right back around to just regular arguing and bantering. For that, I loved it. Shout out TBL, shout out Capo Bravado, shout out Bass Money, shout out Snake Eyes. This is what I want to say about that face-off. It gave me that Midnight Madness feel. I ain't gonna lie. For that battle to be an opener for this card, for that weekend, for the Apollo weekend, bro, I think that battle is the one. I'm not gonna lie to you. They've already sold the fight. They sold the fight so much that the host Kyle, who's working with TBL, he put $500. He started a separate cash app. He started a separate cash app for that battle specifically, because you already know Capo come from the world to put the money on the floor. Capo come from the world to put the money on the floor. All that talking is good. You can talk me to death. Put your money up. You know what I'm saying? Snake Eyes like bet that second half. Capo like, no, let's come up out our pockets. So you know what I'm saying? So Kyle says, hey, I'm about to start our cash app specifically for this. So we get $500 on the floor for him. We get another $500 on the floor. Capo is barking at Snake Eyes. Put another $1,000, put your own $1,000 up in the cash app. I got a rack. Snake Eyes is talking about, no, we can talk about this offline. We talk about how much money you want to put up offline. You want to put up the second half? I don't care what it is, but you want to put up actual money, like in real time? No, we got to talk about that. And you know, you would like to see that. You would like to see that money on the floor situation happen in public, so we can hold everybody accountable. You would like to see that being negotiated in real time. Y'all talked about everything else. Y'all talked about who was the cleanest in the house. Y'all talked about, you know what I'm saying, people's personal lives, what they had going on personally. You know what I'm saying? So that battle that face-off was fire. That battle is going to be fire. You know what I'm saying? Again, Capo come from that money on the floor, bags and bodies situation, betting on yourself. And that's what you're going to have to do, Capo. Capo, you my man, $100,000. You know that. You know that. You, Dollar, Spills, y'all are my guys. But I'm not about to sit here and act like Snake Eyes is not one of them ones, especially when it comes to grudge matches. Now, Hitman Holla is one that knows very well about grudge matches. I think you can make the argument outside of Hitman Holla, does Snake Eyes have the second most grudge matches in battle rap? It feels like every damn time Snake Eyes gets a big opportunity, it's a grudge match. And more than likely, 7 times out of 10, maybe 7.5 times out of 10, he winning them joints. I ain't gonna lie. You think about him and Riggs. I had him beating Riggs, respectfully, and I rock with Riggs. That's my guy too. By the way, Riggs and Bad News going down this weekend. You think about him versus K Walker on Battle Academy. Him and Snake Eyes. Snake Eyes and Twerk. Snake Eyes and you know, he's not scared to go to the West Coast. He battled Geechee on the West. Again, he's battled with his back against the wall seemingly his whole career. He just came off the Rum Nitty battle. Now I don't know how y'all feel about it, but I personally had Snake Eyes beating Rum. I had Snake Eyes beating Rum. I think when it comes to that battle, like Kapo, you're gonna have to be fire. Now you have been trending upwards. I'm not about to take anything away from Kapo. He has been trending upwards. 2024. I don't feel like he missed too many shots. Every time he battled, he did his job. He made it a movie. He made it something that everybody wanted to see. Everybody was talking about it. His promo is like that. You already know Kapo and Snake Eyes know how to sell a fight, so the promo is going to be top notch. But one thing that Kapo called Snake Eyes out about was, nigga, you don't even promo no more. All you do is go on 3 Letterman. I'm out here doing songs. I'm out here doing interviews with everybody, not just selective people. You out here blocking people that you don't, that got a difference of opinion of you. You know what I'm saying? But I really like that battle, though. I really, really like that battle. It does give me that Midnight Madness feel. Capo's trying to really bring it home full circle. Here's my question for y'all. If you are Snake Eyes, because I ain't gonna lie, Kapo told that boy to put that belt up. Put that Midnight Madness belt up. Midnight Madness. I think that would be so fire. Now, does Snake Eyes need to put the belt up? No. But should he put the belt up? I mean, Snake Eyes, you big on moments, right? Snake Eyes, you said your motivation is you got 40 other MCs on the card. You trying to be one of the most talked about battles. You trying to have one of the most talked about performances of the weekend. Okay, cool. Put that money on the floor. Put that belt up. I bet you're going to get all the coverage you want and more. You give us the Midnight Madness. You know what I'm saying? Acknowledge Surf. Acknowledge the imprint that he had. Acknowledge his presence in battle rap. Give us this one. It would be fire. It would add to your legacy. It would add to Capo's legacy. It adds to the teeth to the storyline of this battle. A lot of good battles is going down. A lot of good battles is going down, but one of the things that we are constantly saying is the lack of storylines. So don't leave us at a 9. Don't leave the promotion at a 9 out of 10, an 8.5 out of 10, Snake Eyes. Make it a 12 out of 10. Put that Midnight Madness belt up. Put up the belt. I think it would be fire. You said Surf would like that move. Well, you know, so here's the thing. So yeah, Stumbles got the belt, but then Snake Eyes went and made a new belt. So that's why I'm even like, that's really not even a real belt that you won. That's just a replica anyway. So that's even more of a reason to put it up. You know what I'm saying? At least you can say you defended it. It might not be the OG Midnight Madness belt, but at least you can say you defended that belt that you got made. That's all I'm saying. No, y'all make sure y'all hit the like button. But like I said, I think Bags and Bodies is doing an amazing job of really just carrying the culture in 2025. You think about the Intruders card. Intruders 2 was a great event. You think about obviously One Night Stand, Hitman Hollow's first time battling a female. Yeah, I know he battled in the hallway, but this ain't that. Let the record reflect. Shout out Doc Nation. This ain't that. Now I know he's Hitman, you know what I'm saying? I don't mean to go back real quick, but I'm about to talk about that for a couple seconds, and I'm gonna wrap this up. Now, one of the things that Hitman Holla also said, and it wasn't in that interview, but it was in an earlier conversation when he talked about battling Miss Hustle. He said that Miss Hustle, if you look, he said a replica is demonic. Come on, it's not demonic. It ain't the OG. It's a replica. I hope it ain't, you know what I'm saying? I hope it ain't like a WWE Velcro joint, the styrofoam joint. You know what I'm saying? I hope he talked to Jay Black, you know what I'm saying? You get the remake, you know what I'm saying? You just have Jay Black repurchase that first one. Don't go get the WWE styrofoam Walmart joint, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to see that. I don't want to see a bedazzled Velcro Midnight Madness belt. But one of the things that Hitman Holla had said, and I think it might have been in the spaces. I don't know if it was in the spaces I don't think it was an interview, but he said that Miss Hustle was his worst opponent in 15 years. That's a heavy ass statement. I ain't gonna lie. But when you look at his resume, when you think about it, you got the Geechee Gottis, you got Ill Will, who else? You got Bill Collector, you got Cassidy, you got Calico, you got Easy the Block Captain, you got all these different names. I ain't gonna lie, I think you was wrong about this one, Holla. Respectfully, Miss Hustle is better than Cassidy. We can't sit here and act like Miss Hustle is not better than Cassidy. She is absolutely 1,000 times better than Cassidy. So if you don't got her, if you want to say she's one of the lesser opponents, cool. But she definitely better than Cassidy. Is Hustle exposing too many angles before the battle? I think it's all about presentation. I think this battle's gonna be all about presentation. I think it's obviously when you're laying out this many angles before the battle, you're either trying to set a narrative or you're very confident in the material that you do have. Because you can't say that if she is bringing up too many new angles, that he's doing a lot of counter writing, counter tweeting, but as she is too. You know what I'm saying? As she is too, it's a lot of counter promo going on back and forth. I would just say my thing about Holla is, again, when you battling a woman, he said it himself. One thing that Holla does have a disadvantage in this battle is that he's a way bigger name outside of battle rap than Miss Hustle is, respectfully. So, like, when you're talking to a female and you are as popular and as famous in mainstream as a Hitman Holla, it's only certain things you can say in the promo. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not going to go back and forth with Hustle about you being in, you know what I'm saying, your past life, your past dealings, your past interactions. First, like he said, like, you're never gonna win an argument like that, battle talking to a woman like that. It just ain't gonna work. It's always gonna look crazy. So you just let her fly off the handles, and then you do exactly what Hitman Holla did. You just address it one time. And I got from St. Louis. I don't expect anybody that you call in New York to know how, you know what I'm saying, know how I got jumped in, know how I was stepping when I was stepping. And honestly, I'm at the point in my life where, like, gang life is stupid. Like, why would I got money, I got security. Like, why am I sitting here talking about gang life? I'm not about to uplift that. Again, Bags and Bodies 2025. I don't even think there's a question. Number one league, number one platform. Again, you see them moving the culture across the board, whether it be the Bags and Bodies platform itself, whether it be the different platforms that the talent from the Bags and Bodies roster is battling on. Again, Bags and Bodies, Hitman Holla 2025. It's looking a little spooky. I ain't gonna lie, but y'all let me know what y'all think about that, man. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I feel like I was in like a place of creative funk. I feel like I was in a little bit of a creative funk, man. But I'm hoping that I'm working myself out of it. I got a couple, you know what I'm saying? Obviously, having my son was a big stress, and then him coming, pause, no Diddy, him being delivered, you know what I'm saying, 2 months early didn't help at all. And so then him doing what? We did 30 plus days in the NICU. You know what I'm saying? Then after that, getting ready for a national presentation, then going on paternity leave. So I'm just now starting to get back to, like, trying to establish what regular life is going to be. I'm just now getting back to establishing, you know what I'm saying, a regular routine. So I'm hoping that we can, you know what I'm saying, get back to our morning lives. He need to go to daycare. That's what is really killing me, because he be wilding in the mornings. But I'm actually gonna start. I think I've been teasing. I've been talking about it, kind of talking about wider topics on the channel. So I think me and my girl just had a very interesting conversation where she essentially wants to. My daughter's six-year birthday is coming up. My daughter's 6-year birthday is coming up. And you know what I'm saying, we're working on invitations for the party or whatever. And my girl wants to invite the entire kindergarten class. My girl wants to invite the entire kindergarten class. And I ain't rocking with that shit. I ain't really trying to hear none of that shit she talking about. So I think I'm gonna talk about that and give y'all my opinion on that. And we'll see how the views look on that. We'll definitely see how the views look on. I don't know if there's gonna be a certain genre that I'm gonna touch on. I might just be jumping around talking about different things in my life, different things that I'm reading and reacting to. So we'll see how it goes. But shout out Black Compass Media, shout out Polo, shout out Tone Bro, Posey. Again, fire interview. Go to Black Compass Media if you want to check out that in full. Shout out to Hitman Holla, shout out Miss Hustle, shout out the Boss Bags and Bodies. They definitely dropped in some intruder battles. I know KD versus Forward Dev just dropped. Prestavia versus Coffee is also dropped on the Bags and Bodies channel. Again, they moving and shaking, man. It's undeniable what Bags and Bodies is doing for the culture. So salute to them, man. Shout out to my brother Deadass Talk. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Hold on. It's not just that she want to invite her whole class. So you got her class. You got her basketball team that we still got to invite a couple invites to. And you got her friends from when she was at daycare before she actually started kindergarten. So it's a lot going on. I'm like, bro, I'm not paying for all these kids, bro. And she like, well, no, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait. See, y'all gonna get me talking about it. Y'all gonna get me talking about it. But I appreciate each and every one of y'all. Make sure y'all like the video. Make sure y'all go back and watch some of my previous interviews that I got with Kapo. Talked about the Geeky Gotti and A-Verb situation and the A-Dep situation, which has definitely reached the level of heights. Like, I just kind of stay out them situations, bro. Shout out Battle Facts, man. You know what I'm saying? You definitely in the thick of things. And I know you were saying that people scared of A-Dep. It's not that we scared of A-Dep. I just don't need to acknowledge A-Dep. A-Dep doesn't do anything for me to acknowledge. So I don't, you know what I'm saying? It's just not where I'm looking at. But to your credit, if he, you know what I'm saying, if he was pulling up paperwork on me and dissecting me, I would definitely do exactly what you're doing. It's full court press. It's full court press at that point. But I appreciate each and every one of y'all so much, man. Y'all already know who I am. Y'all know exactly how I rock. Shout out my brother Deadass Talk. Y'all already know the vibes. This is Temperature Check. I am your host as always, man. Mr. Check the Temperature. Like, comment, subscribe to the channel. And you know the motto. We ain't just getting started. We been here. Salute.